The problem with this system is by the time you can have any of the things you want, you're too old, too sick, too weak, and too tired to even enjoy them. Like all these big fancy boats, they just sit on the lifts. All these big boats, they sit on the lifts, sit at the dock. They just sit there. Nobody takes them, nobody uses them. All those sports cars, they sit in the driveway. The giant mansions, they sit vacant or sit with 10% of them being used. Nobody's even using these things.
Life is getting way too serious when you get in the car and start driving and you don't even play no music.
Hi, welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping by. So a lot of times we hear people talk about how the economy is bad right now, like we're struggling, we're going through a lot. The economy doesn't really look good at all. When it starts getting terrifying is when you sit back and think about it deeply, and then you start saying that, what if the situation, this economy is not temporary and this actually becomes the new normal? Because when we think about it, the formula a lot of us were given is not working anymore. It's no longer working. I don't know if I should call it a restructure or rebranding, but there's so much shift. The lifestyle the older generations were able to live, and it's just not giving anymore. It's not going to work. The current economy is affecting a lot of people. We're going to rant about it. So we're going to be checking out these videos. And before we get right into this video, please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. Let's get right into this video.
If you want to survive the next 2 decades, 20 years, there's a couple things that you're going to have to do. And I'm going to try to keep this brief, but hear me out. The first thing that you're going to have to do is drop your expectations of the future. You grew up in a Western society, especially America, United States. You grew up in a capitalist society. That is quite literally all we have ever known here. That is how we know how to make money. That is how we know how to get by, is under capitalism. But the fact of the matter is, capitalism is crumbling. And a couple years ago, I probably would have been labeled as a conspiracy theorist for saying that. But now it's very much more within the general conscious that this is a fact. With that being said, you're going to have to adjust your expectations of the future or potentially get left behind. This takes me to the second thing that you will want to do in order to survive the next couple decades. You need to be working on your analog skills. The future is going to be for the people who can provide a palpable service to their communities. This is going to be how a lot of people end up getting by, because currency, as we know it, is about to change wildly before our very eyes. But you know what never goes out of value? Being able to provide some sort of real analog service to your community. I firmly believe we're going to see a return to traditional values and not in a tradwife sense. We are going to see a rise in demand for blue-collar trades. We are going to see a rise in demand for craftsmanship. And I firmly believe we are going to see a blend of Western and Eastern medicine starting to take hold across the globe. As the Christian church as an establishment is crumbling as well, we are going to see more and more people looking for either mystical or spiritual guidance of some sort. We are about to see a massive push for literacy. Although teachers have been historically underappreciated in America, at least, there is going to be an increased demand in the future for people who know how to educate well, empathetically, and effectively. The question is going to be, how can you actually enhance the lives of those around you with or without money involved? Since capitalism puts so much emphasis on individual success, with its demise, we are going to see a huge push for community in general. Those are my general tips for if you want to survive the next 2 decades. Best of luck. I will see you next time.
We are never going back to normal. And what I mean by that is the economy that we once knew, the economy that our parents, grandparents, and even the generations before us by 5 to 10 years knew, we're never going to go back there. I saw a curator, and I'll tag her below, make a really good point about this subject of how we kind of live in a casino market, a casino economy where people are highly leveraged and basically running out of hope in regards to what they can accomplish in regards to job security, job opportunity, housing, children, etc., due to what's currently going on. And not to be scary or to fear monger, but it brings up a really good point of how the trajectory and those who will be able to kind of manage this headwind will survive over the next 5 to 10 years. I do hope that there is some clarity that does come and things do make sense, but at the end of the day, everything is for profit. No longer can a company grow by 1 to 2% a year without and Wall Street and financing companies and private equity, rewarding that. Unfortunately, that's not how life works anymore. And the disparity from the top 10% to the 1% and everybody else is becoming extremely, extremely larger, and it's not getting any close, right? Because you have to also take into account, why would somebody who's in the top 1% care about and try to do things for the bottom 50% of people? That's just not how it works, right? And what was normal 10 years ago or even just 5 years ago will no longer be normal going forward. And we have to figure out ways to get around that, right? And that's why we're seeing the rise of gambling, predictive markets, people not having children, and things of that nature. So I just wanted to put that out there. How are you guys navigating that? What are your thoughts on the current economy? I'll drop some more videos about what I'm doing to kind of mitigate the risk there, but we're all, looking to do so and trying to navigate this together. But very, very interesting times here as we head into the era of AI.
It's such a weird time to be alive right now because I feel like half of us are just like feeling like we're watching the world just fall apart and just waiting for the shoe to drop. And the other half just doesn't even know anything's going on at all. Like the other day, I was going and checking out a motorcycle that I'm interested in getting, and I was talking to the salesman, and we were talking for a while, and he mentioned to me how he was in the Army or the Marines or whatever, and he got out and he has all these benefits, and he suggested to me that joining the Army might be a good idea for me. And I didn't want to get too deep into it, but I was just like, nah, I'm not trying to fight nobody. And he was like, well, we're kind of in peace times right now, so it's not really something that should be on your mind. Huh? Like, we're like on the verge of World War III. What are we talking about? Like, this is not peace times. A war could break out at any moment right now. Like, literally any moment right now. But he was so serious. Like, oh, we're in peace times. It's not like you'll actually be fighting. I very well could. Beyond that, do you see the kind of rhetoric that is being spewed right now? I would not be safe or comfortable in the military, especially not entering it right now. Like, if I was already in it, then I had to deal with it, whatever. But like, telling me, a 5'2" black woman, to enter the military in the current political climate, what's going on? Like, am I crazy? Am I the one that's just like too woke or whatever? Like,
And y'all old people be lying, talking about, yeah, that's why you go to college. You get a job so you could get a degree. And people, you don't go to college, you're going to be flipping patties. Baby, I have 2 of them degrees and they won't even let me flip the patties. So now what?
At this point, I seriously think Gen Z is just screwed. In 2026, Gen Z just simply earns way less than it costs to survive. The average Gen Zer makes about $25K a year, which is around $21,000 a month, and spends basically all of it on bills or rent. Nearly half of Gen Z runs out of money before the end of the month ends, and that's not just budgeting, that's just survival at that point. And don't get me started on student loan debt, because the average Gen Zer also has about $30K of student loan debt on top of all of that. We are spending more on essentials than any other previous generation, and wages just keep going down, and the cost of living just keeps going up. You're not failing in life. The system is just completely fucked us over. Budgeting does help, don't get me wrong. I still use mine to budget and track all of my expenses, but the system is still failing us.
You know what's crazy is that it's so much easier to save money because everything's such bad quality. Food is bad quality. Clothing is bad quality. You can tell so many things that are being sold right now are being ran through AI, and it's just AI slop. And so much easier to just not buy. Like, they're putting zero effort into things. Mind you, even the things that are necessary that we have to buy are bad quality. So knowing that the things that are necessary and I have to buy are bad quality and expensive makes it much easier for me to realize, dang, why spend on the unnecessary that's also expensive and also bad quality? Like, it's so much easier. Like, they're making it easy. Like, y'all aren't given any incentive to want to spend money because everything is crap. And then for some reason, all of the crap they're selling always tends to be like $20 plus. I'm not buying that shit. It makes it so much easier. Like, I don't even really buy fast food anymore because you're paying how much for bad quality when I could just go to the grocery store and use that money to buy better ingredients, which saves me money long run because then I eat out less. They don't get that they're losing money by making everything bad quality. Like, thanks, actually, I'll save my coin.
Why is being broke so normalized in our society? Like, why is it considered normal to work a full-time job or sometimes 2 jobs and still have to choose between buying groceries and paying a bill on time? Why is it normal for full-ass adults who show up to work every single day to still need roommates in order to survive? This is not a money mindset issue or a you should budget better issue. This is a system that keeps raising the cost of living while wages are stuck in the same place they were in 2009. But we've all been gaslit into calling this normal. And it's not, it's exhausting, and I am so fucking sick of pretending it's normal. If you're tired of this shit too, follow me. We are not broken, the system is, and I believe that we can figure out a way out of it together.
Way more people are in credit card debt than you can even fathom. And I'm talking large amounts of debt. Next time you feel really bad about not being able to attend a festival or have some sort of experience or have a luxury item because you don't have the money, just remember that most of these people that you know are borrowing money to get it, okay? Once upon a time in college, I lived in this huge shared living situation, which was a total fucking nightmare, okay? There were like 1 million people in the house, and I'm not even exaggerating. And there was this one girl I lived with that would literally travel out of the country to go to concerts multiple times a month, and she would like always get barricade, and she always had these huge shopping hauls and generally like really expensive beauty products and clothes, and like it was actually insane. And I remember moving in and thinking like, how is she affording this shit? Like specifically all the international flights and concerts, and sometimes there wasn't even a concert. She would just be like, I'm gonna go to Europe for a few days. And I was like, okay. But then other people in the house informed me that like she was actually in $30,000 of credit card debt and she just didn't give a fuck. And one time I talked to her about it and she was like, my parents have declared bankruptcy 5 times. Like, money isn't real. I was like, okay, bro. I forgot to add that one time people from the local court, or one of the local courts, pulled up in the parking lot of our house and served her these papers because Discover, like the credit card company Discover, was going after her for all this money she owed that she hadn't paid back like months ago. And I remember talking to her about this money because she would bring it up frequently, like in the house when I was like cooking in the kitchen or whatever, being like, yeah, it was like $1,200 or it was $2,000. Like the number would vary, like who fucking knows what the real number was? Like whatever she said, it was probably triple that, so like who really knows? But she's like, but they're a big company, like they'll just eat the cost. I'm like, no, they're gonna get you. And they did in fact get her, and they started like garnishing her wages and shit. Like it was actually crazy.
During the Great Depression, 48% of young adults ages 18 to 29 lived with their parents. And now, in 2025, it's 52%. Life was legitimately more affordable and easier in the Great Depression than it is today.
Yeah, I see everybody fucked up in this economy. Why did I call the bank? I'm not going to put them on blast because I don't want nobody to lose their job. Called the bank to tell them I'm going to be a couple days late on my car note. This nigga said, and I quote, if you don't got it, you don't got it. Pay it when you can. Don't stress about it. Well,
not even money will keep me going to work. If I'm sleepy, if I ain't feeling good, if I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, hell, if I don't feel like going in, I ain't going in. I don't give a fuck. Like, well, I don't care how much money I'm making, how good the job is. If I don't want to go in, I'm not going in. Like, literally, like, you could even pay me. I'm still not going to go in. Like, I don't like working, man. I hate it.
Companies are literally profiting off of you being a fucking idiot. They check you to not expect your bill. They don't want you to go back and like return your food. They mess stuff up. You gotta be like going after these companies. Like be on top of where every single one of your dollars goes to. Because people are trying to finesse.
I am proud to announce that your savings accounts are basically now worth 0 and that the American economy is now in active free fall. That's right. Go check out the price of silver. Cat's out of the bag. We're done.
Getting to that age where you can no longer quit your job just because you don't like it is so humbling. When I was younger, I used to quit jobs for fun. But now, there's too much on the line. The state of the job market might just leave me homeless.
I just kind of came to the realization that making 10K a month is great and all, but that shit is not getting me out of the matrix, and I need to make minimum 50.
You know, I'm noticing how more and more people are literally out here exhausted because they are working hard and they are still stressed about money. And the messed up part is that we have normalized that, like being stressed and being unsure about our future is just a part of life. Like that's just a part of being an adult. But what gets me even more is the fact that there are so many people who've accepted that that's just going to be their life. But what nobody is talking about is what that means and what that looks like 10 to 20 years from now.
I have a legitimate question right now. How is everyone surviving? Like, the world is, how? Just tell me in the comment section. Thank you. I'm gonna pray for you.
They really convince people that working 40 hours a week just to stay broke and own nothing is something to be proud of. We glorify exhaustion, we glorify burnout, we glorify hustle while owning nothing, saving nothing, and barely surviving. Look around. Seniors 65 plus still have to work to make ends meet. Wasn't the system designed so that they could retire at that age and enjoy life? Imagine spending 25, 30, 35, 40 years of your life working just to finally experience the world when you're gray, wore down, and tired. That's not success, that's not freedom, that is a failed life design. And people need to stop normalizing this system.
The economy in America right now is so fucked that after paying rent and bills this week, me and my roommates were comparing how much money we didn't have. I had $12 in my bank account. I got 2 frozen pizzas. Let's hope I make it through the fucking week, guys.
I bet you didn't know that if you were to calculate all of the taxes that you pay on every single thing across the board, you'd find you are only living off of 25% of the money that you actually make. 75% of your money goes to paying various taxes.
How are y'all gonna tell us that our 20s are our prime time, our prime years, and we should live them up because you're never gonna get your 20s back again? But then when we complain about the economic state of the world and how we aren't really able to live anything up because we can't afford anything, you guys call us, spoiled and lazy. God forbid I don't want to live with 30 roommates at 26. God forbid I want to just go traveling, seeing the world just once or twice, once a year. God forbid I don't want to live with my parents at 24. God forbid I want a job that pays me a livable wage. Back in my day, you were buying houses at like 24. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You just told us that our 20s are our 20s. It's the 20s. You're never going to get your 20s back. Those are your prime time. What about this is giving prime? I can't even get myself a prime ribeye. And you want to say that these are supposed to be our prime time? And then when we complain that our 20s are nothing but subprime, you guys then call us spoiled and lazy for just stating the obvious because God forbid we don't want to live with our parents and 30 roommates and not being able to afford anything in life? God forbid we just want one trip to Barcelona. Oh no, you guys just want anything without hard work. You guys just want anything without hard work.
I know listening to things like, oh, things are not going to get better, things are not going to return to normal, it's kind of like scary for a lot of people. Like, it gets to the point where you start thinking like, damn, like, is this what it's going to look like? Sometimes you have people who tell you, get with the times, because basically things are changing, things are not like before, because a lot of our complaints just keep revolving around the fact that what we were told was going to work for us before is not working anymore, and like they gave you like a formula of success, and that formula is not working. So now that it's not working anymore, they tell you to get with the times, like, because what else? Like, so think about what you need to do, right? I know there are a lot of like financial advice where they tell you to go buy some stocks, invest, do this, do that. But at the end of the day, individually, I think we all got to go think about what we need to do, because I don't know if we're supposed to adapt to this struggle, adapt to this suffering, adapt to this new changes, rapid, fast growing changes. And I know making videos about the economy over and over again can be, very repetitive. It gets to a point where it's starting to be very repetitive, and you are like, what are we supposed to do about it? Because like, you want to see a change, like we all want to see a change. I would love to make a video and be like, oh, there's like some changes, some things are actually improving, some people are actually much better, and there's less and less rant videos out there, but there's just so many of them everywhere because we're living the same struggle every single month to month. We're still struggling, we're still going through it, and things are becoming even worse. Like, honestly, it's not getting better. So it gets to the point where you're wondering if this struggling and this situation is just gonna keep getting worse, and just this will become the new normal. Like, we need to start seeing changes, we need to start seeing solutions, things needs to start getting better. You've made it to the end of this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Please don't forget to click the like button, it helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.